Thank you for choosing Tern. We want to make sure that you stay safe while enjoying your new bike. So please follow me for the next few minutes as I walk you through this important briefing and explain how to use and maintain your new ride. First, let's take a look at the main frame joint. To open the frame joint, slide the security knob like this and pull the lever. To close it, just push the lever in with the palm of your hand. The security knob will automatically lock in place, so you do not need to touch it. To open the frame joint, move the security knob upward like this and pull the lever open. To close it, push the lever in and move the security knob downwards so that it sits on top of the lever. Now let's talk about quick releases. There's one here to raise and lower your seat. There's one here and there's one here that both allow you to quickly remove your wheels. Now to operate your quick releases, just pull them away from the frame, adjust what you need to, and then close them again like this. To make it easier or harder to open or close the clamp, you can adjust the tension. Just open the quick release lever and twist the acorn like this. When using the quick release to adjust the saddle height, please note that there's a minimum insertion point. It's engraved on the seat post, so you've got to look carefully to find it, but it's there. Now for safety reasons, please be sure that you stay above the minimum insertion point. Your lever and quick releases should be stiff when you open and close them, but not too stiff. When properly adjusted, you should be able to open them up with 2 or 3 fingers and close them with the palm of your hand. When the quick releases and lever are not closed or adjusted correctly, there's a risk of injury. So please be sure to check them before you ride. Folding and unfolding a Tern bike is easy, but it can take a bit of practice for you to remember all the steps. That's why we recommend you run through them a couple of times before you head out into the field. You can refer back to this video whenever you want, if necessary. To fold your Joe bike, start by rotating the crank arms so that the left crank arm is angled toward the front of your bike. Next, open your seat post clamp and drop your saddle. Next, open the OCL joint, then pull the handlebars back toward the rear of the bike. Make sure your magnetics engage, because they will keep the bike closed. If your bike has an FBL hinge, move up the security knob before opening the lever. For a more compact fold, you can use your 5mm Allen key to loosen the stem. Once you've loosened the stem, remove the handlebars and mount them to the mounting point beside your fork. Finally, tighten them before you ride. Turn the handlebars 90 degrees to the left after loosening the bolt. Remember to tighten it up again afterward. To disengage the magnetics, simply twist the handlebars to the right and then pull the front of your bike forward. Then close the OCL joint and remember there's no need to touch the security knob. Open the seat post clamp and raise your saddle. If you have an FBL joint, simply disengage the magnetics on your bike and pull the front wheel forward. Then close the lever and re-engage the security knob. So there are a few things you need to check on your bike before each ride. To help you remember them all, we suggest you use this mnemonic device. A, B, C, Q, D. A is for air. Check your tire pressure. Use your thumb to press down on the tire. It should feel nice and firm, but be sure not to overinflate it. B stands for brakes and bars. To inspect your brakes, just squeeze the levers and make sure that your bike stops. And by bars, we mean the handlebar, the handle post, and the stem. Just inspect everything carefully to make sure that it's nice and tight, that everything is undamaged, and you should be good to go. C stands for chain and cables. Grab one of your pedals and rotate it backwards to run your chain through the gears. Next, inspect the cables to make sure that they're untangled and undamaged. Q stands for quick release. Make sure that the two main folding joints and all of the quick releases on your bike are properly closed. Here, 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 and here. D stands for drop test. Simply lift your bike a few inches off the ground and drop it. If anything shakes or rattles, just inspect and adjust that area. Also be sure before you ride to make sure there are no cracks developing on the frame joint. Now let's talk about braking. The rear brake lever is mounted on your left handlebar grip, and the front brake lever is mounted on the right. For certain countries, it could be the other way around, so please double check with your dealer or try before you ride. Now squeeze both the front and the rear brake evenly to slow down or stop. Next, let's look at how to use your gears so that you can control your speed and pedaling resistance. This indicator shows you whether you're in a low gear or a high gear. To start off, you want to use a low gear around a 4 or maybe even a 5. Remember to only switch gears while you're pedaling. To switch gears, just turn the grip shift until you reach the desired gear. Or press the lever if you have a trigger shift. Just like a car, your bike needs regular maintenance to stay safe and reliable. Your bike is made up of lots of different moving parts. Since they're rubbing against each other, they need to be lubricated. Your chain is probably the first object on the bike that needs a little bit of maintenance lubrication, especially if you hear it squeaking or if you've been riding in the rain. So if your bike needs to be lubricated, just take it over to your local Tern dealer and they can recommend something for you to put on your chain. After you apply it, make sure to wipe off all of the excess grease so it's relatively clean and you don't get any markings on your legs during a commute. There are several parts of your bike that will wear out over time. These include the rims, the brake pads, and the tires. Your rims and your brake pads have wear lines. When you can no longer see these, visit your Tern dealer and have them replaced. When your tire's tread starts to wear out, or when the sidewalls of the tire start to crack, it's also time to have those replaced. We also recommend that you periodically check that your wheels are true, or in other words, straight. To check them, lift your front wheel and spin. Check for any excessive side-to-side motion and check that the rim is not rubbing against the brake pad. Also, check your spokes to make sure that nothing is broken or loose. If you find anything warped or damaged with your wheels, just bring your bike into your local Tern dealer and they'll help sort you out. Regular maintenance is key to the enjoyment and longevity of your new Tern bicycle. If you're a weekend or light rider, try to take your bike into your dealer every quarter. Whereas if you're a daily rider, aim to bring your bike into your local dealer once a month. Regardless of how much you ride, aim to bring your bike into a dealer within a month after initially purchasing it. Cables and brakes take a little bit of time to settle, so you'll enjoy your bike the most if it's tuned up after a month of riding. That about covers it. And remember, there's plenty of additional information in the user manual or under tips and tricks on turnbicycles.com. Plus, your dealer is always available for questions. Again, thank you for choosing Tern.